So? Great. A serving of dehydrated dumplings completely changed my outlook on the situation. I feel so optimistic about life now. Now you're being mean. I went through a lot of trouble to make those, and they weren't that bad. You made an effort. I'll give you that. But see, that makes it even worse. It would be easier to hate you, but eating those fucking pierogi with you, I actually enjoyed it. Wait, are you showing your feelings? What? No. Okay, just kidding. I hate getting called sentimental too. Just proves how similar we are. Well, now that we got that out of the way, what's the plan? The corporation is supposedly on top of this, but I know better than to put my life in the hands of pen pushers. Oh, I hear ya. You never know with those numbskulls. Right, so, until the rescue ship arrives, we better watch our own asses. Do they know about me? They were the ones who told me to create you. Bastards. Tell me you know what to do. All I know is we need to get to a safe place, then we'll improvise. Well, there's one thing you should know. This base is a resource-consuming, maintenance-heavy. That's not gonna be enough. I'll be blunt with you. If you want to survive, you're gonna need more people. People? What people? The Rapidium's there. Use it. Make more versions of me. Versions of us both, you mean? Huh. That almost sounded like we're planning kids. You need to work on your cooking skills, though. I was hoping I could avoid going through all that again. It was quite a struggle with you. Struggle? One day you'll look back and realize I was the easy one. Mark my words. Is it me, or does it sound a bit artificial?
Hello? Jan. Can you hear me?
Lena? Lena, is that you? What are you... How did you find me?
They let me know. Agatha, my boss, came to see me and said you could use some support. Are you all right? I heard about your crew.
Yeah. Yeah. Everyone's dead. But I'm fine, somehow. It's a lot to handle.
Yeah, I know. Is it true you found Rapidium?
Oh. So that's why they got you to call.
I know you think everyone in the company is an underhanded asshole, but honestly, I don't care why they approached me. I wanted to call. What the hell happened out there? How did you survive?
So, your boss, did she say anything more about the accident?
No. Just that you're all alone out there and could use someone close to talk to.
Really?
How did you make it?
I'm not sure. Something strange. Everyone died in their landing pods, except for me. I don't know why. It's really weird.
Oh my... That does sound so unbelievable.
Even more unbelievable to hear from you, out of the blue.
I know. It's awkward for me, too. We haven't spoken in a while and suddenly this. I just hope... What's the plan for getting you out of there?
There's a guy called Lucas Pena. He's handling it, apparently.
Someone from STC.
You know your way around.
It's been a couple of... A couple of years. Look, is there maybe anyone from outside the company you'd like me to get in touch with? I mean, to let them know?
No. There's no one.
I didn't mean to get personal. You know what? Why don't I ask STC to keep me in the loop? And to keep an open channel for me? If you want that, of course.
Yeah. I'd like that. Thanks.
Good. Take care then, and Talk soon.
Hey, were we supposed to stop here? Nope. It's way too early. Don't tell me something's wrong with the base again. Not on my watch. Systems are working fine. Something outside then? Yeah. Don't jump into your suit already. I'm kinda starting to like the inside of our base. Alright, I'll take a look around. Rid of you. Got a minute? We need to talk. Hey, I found this. I brought it on this mission, but thought that maybe it could mean something to you too. My lucky old multi-tool. No wonder you took it with you. This little baby never ever let me down. Yep, I thought it might come in handy. Of course, every man of the house should have one. It sure helped me feel like one when the time came. Thanks, man. Something you wanted to discuss with me? I wanted to congratulate you. On what? Having a smart me on board. Seriously? Yeah, I flipped through some manuals while you was sitting on your hands. Looks like we had the base operating in minimum maintenance mode. Oh? Yeah. But I played around with functionality options and, hey presto, we got some new handy toys unlocked. Tools in the workshop and such. Isn't that your job? To provide the tech? It's what I'd expect from a technician. Really? And did you expect me to upgrade the building module too? 'Cause I did. Although it's more like something I'd expect from a builder. Sweet. We could do with some improvements here. Sure, but don't start fantasizing too much. Remember, everything costs resources. So, wherever we are and however long we're staying, it might just be wise to see if we can set up a mining outpost instead of relying on shallow deposits. Just in case. Sound advice. I'll consider. rocks look like they might be passable. If only I had a tool to drill through them. Ah, another movie. This one was actually on my pile of shame. Missing that. Rid of you. Hey, I found this. I brought it on this mission, but thought that maybe it could mean something to you too. My lava lamp? You kept it? Sure. It's one of a few cool keepsakes from our childhood. Yeah. Mom and I like to sit by it in the evening, talking and joking. It reminds me of that period when life was challenging, but also really fucking great. Can't get rid of you. About time. I'm in some deep shit here.
So you're not at your destination yet?
I'm stuck. We're stuck. There's a freaking lava river blocking our way.
Do you think you can cross it?
I'm on it. Just need a little time.
Right. Well, I got in touch because I have some news for you. Good news and, well, just news.
What's the bad news?
You didn't listen. There's no bad news. First of all, I've been informed that a rescue party is being organized.
Organized? You mean they're not on their way yet? What the hell are you waiting for?
Mr. Dosky, please, calm down. No matter how long the procession, it will always end up in church.
What?
Just a thing my grandma used to say when I was a kid and tired of doing my homework.
Except this is not about your homework.
Sure. But you gotta understand, your mission got dispatched pretty far away. We still haven't mastered teleporting.
How long do you think it will take them to get organized?
All I can say is, they know it's an emergency.
Wow. That long?
Don't shoot the messenger, man. I'm really trying to help.
I thought you were responsible for the navigation system. Isn't it your job to make sure we're safe wherever it sends us?
Well, it's what I'm doing right now, isn't it? Making sure you're safe. Step by step, we'll get your procession safely to church.
So, what's the other news?
Well, I know you have a lot on your plate right now, but there's a request from my boss directly. Before we get you out of there, we want you to retrieve as much Rapidium as possible.
Figures. They don't want to lose their chance. Probably worthless to your higher-ups without Rapidium anyway.
It's sure gonna give your rescue mission wings, if that's your kind of incentive.
Of course.
My boss will want to speak to you shortly. And you'll see how important it is. He's not some kind of empty three-piece suit, if that's what you're afraid of. I probably shouldn't be telling you this, but it was his idea to, you know, let you in on the branching procedure. By the way, is your altar doing any better?
Yeah. We're getting along pretty well now. Thanks.
That's very good to hear.
Is this about you wanting to talk to him again?
No. No, none of that. My boss put it out of my mind. Best not to mess things up even more.
So, you admit it's a mess.
What? No, we just... You know what? I'm not commenting on that. Talk to my boss about it.
What's gonna happen to my altars back on Earth?
I don't know. I'm sure my boss will think of something. He always knows what to do.
You either really trust him or you're very good at not saying anything.
Maybe both. I'm not a natural talker.
Ever tried working on it? You know, with a professional?
Not really. But my sister wanted to be a therapist and she practiced on me when I was 5.
Oh? And how did that go?
She turned to breeding hamsters. I hope you're not laughing.
Tell me more about this boss of yours. You mention him a lot.
He's the head of mining operations. Great mine, very open. You'll see. He doesn't normally do this, you know. Talk to people on space missions in person.
Oh, I feel so blessed.
You should. He saved your life, in a way.
Your family seems interesting. Got any more stories about them?
It's a big family. Brothers, sisters, cousins, uncles. Yours?
I was the only child.
Wow. Can't imagine how that feels. Anyway, no time to talk about families now, right?
Okay. I better get back to work then.
Yes. Just remember about the Rapidium, Mr. Dalsky. And wait for contact from my boss.
Got a minute? We need to talk. Whoa, you look tired, man. Everything okay? I don't know. Maybe it's got something to do with sleeping on the floor? Oh, I hadn't thought of that. Of course not. You have your cozy captain's bed. All right. No need to be so dramatic about it. I'll get you a proper dorm. Sounds like a promise. Hey, I built that dormitory you asked for.
Hallelujah.
I hope you sleep well tonight. I'll sleep like a full-fledged member of an advanced civilization. Sweet dreams, then.
I like the...
These rocks look like they might be passable. If only I had a tool to drill through them. This is not good. We are surrounded. Damn it. So much for Plan B. Hey, Molly? What are you up to, little rascal? Okay, I went beyond the rocks. It doesn't look good. The lava river is fast as hell. I'll be straight with you. There's no way around it. Holy shit. What now? I guess we need to get across somehow. Any ideas up your smart-ass sleeve? So now I'm smart, huh? Well, actually, I do have an idea. The could build a research lab and see if we can come up with anything useful there. Okay, let's give it a go. Hey, how are you feeling? Well, I'll be damned. You okay? Surprisingly okay. Especially considering what I'm seeing. Very clearly. Good. Do you, remember your name? Of course. But... I think you know perfectly well who I am. So let's not waste time. Just tell me, how much did you find? What? How much rupidium is there? Did we get a breakthrough? That's not the most important thing at the moment. Except for the fact it's the primary goal of the mission. Yes, but... Hey, wait. How do you know I found any rupidium at all? Well... Isn't it obvious? I wake up seeing someone who looks and sounds like me, which has to mean we share the same DNA. Then there's the glasses. What about them? They're fake. Probably just manufactured to make me feel more like myself, but completely unnecessary otherwise, because here I am with perfectly good eyesight in the wound module, which could only lead to one conclusion: that my body was created to replicate someone who doesn't wear glasses. You. And to do that, of course, you would need to have found rupidium. Besides, I can see no other explanation for a sheep inside a space base. Correct me if I'm wrong. Wow, you're right. It's impressive. I did create you out of my DNA. We're not identical, of course. I can see you're not as quick to process information. And that's the interesting part. Yeah, our bodies are the same, but our minds are not. I needed a scientist on board. But there's always a scientist on board. So, what went wrong? The old crew is gone. They're all dead. That's why I needed to alter myself into different versions. With the use of the quantum computer on board and something called mind records. Oh, I see. A recalculated mind based on an infinite amount of variables to contain the desired consciousness in a biological vessel. That actually sounds plausible. So, what do you need from me now? Why don't you rest a little? Get accustomed to the new reality? Which part of what I just said makes you think I'm not ready to start immediately? Well, in that case, your situation must be critical considering the lengths you went to. Something tells me there's no time to lose. You're right. Why don't you start with going through the mission logs? I need to get the full picture first. My thoughts exactly. Good. This might work. I'm also young, obviously. This will never not be weird. Anyway, make yourself at home.
Jan Dolsky. Finally. I've been impatient to meet you.
Yeah, sure. You that big fish Lucas was mumbling about?
Terrence Maxwell. But yes, I am both his and your superior at mining operations. First of all, my heartfelt condolences. Losing the whole crew must have been hard on you.
Yeah. I still can't get over it.
Their families have been informed. They're grief-stricken, as you can imagine. But the deaths of their loved ones will go down in history as part of a pioneering discovery. Your discovery.
So, do people know I found Rapidium?
We're keeping the news within a very limited circle. It's only wise for the time being.
Of course. Yeah. No reason to get everyone hyped up. Might still fail.
I can see you're a grown man, Jan. And you understand the stakes. I don't want to put pressure on you, but... failure is not an option.
That's why you had me create my altars? You'd rather let me lose my mind than lose the Rapidium?
It was a long shot, I admit. But we were saving both. Rapidium and you, Jan. Do you think it was a mistake?
I have mixed feelings. Sure, it's better to be alive, but I feel like a line's been crossed.
You certainly have a chance to experience something extraordinary. Many people would envy you.
Let's just get one thing straight, Maxwell. I know you expect things of me, but I'm no hero.
Ah, heroism. Are you familiar with the works of Albert Camus?
Albert who?
A great writer and philosopher. Camus believed heroism was easy, accessible. For him, it was living a normal man's life that was a true challenge. Being decent. Doing the right thing. You are the first person to prove that we can actually excavate Rapidium in quantities that can really make a difference. A dream the biggest corporations have been chasing for over a decade now, constantly failing. You say you're not a hero? Well, maybe I don't need you to be one. Maybe you should just carry on being a decent man, Jan Dolsky.
you're buttering me up for something big here. Let's cut to the chase.
Hard-headed. I like that. You've probably noticed how different Rupidium looks in reality than on the training materials they showed you.
Why is that?
It changes form constantly. Its chemical structure is so volatile that it is almost impossible to capture two particles in the same state. A fleeting substance. Spectacular. But also very unstable.
So, you're afraid the Rupidium I found might not withstand the journey?
I know it won't. That's why we came up with a special container for it. An Ark.
You mean like a box?
A hermetic module dedicated specifically to storing and transporting Rupidium. We have blueprints for it. Lucas should send the necessary data over to you by the time we finish talking. Constructing a Rupidium Ark should be your primary focus now.
Sounds like a big task. I should get to it straight away.
It is a big task, Jan. But it's worth every effort. I hope you realize the gravity of the moment.
I thought you said you didn't want to put pressure on me.
You're right. Lucas said you had questions. Is there anything you'd like to ask me?
Do you know what happened to my crew?
Lucas showed me the records. I have a theory, but it's more of a hunch.
What is it?
Well, I think it might have been the quantum processing unit that killed them.
What? But that's... No, that's crazy.
Do you read detective stories, Jan? The culprit always needs to have two things. A motive and a means. Well, it certainly had a means to do it.
But why?
Like I said, it's just a hunch. I'm afraid I won't have much more time for now, Jan. Do you have any other questions?
What will happen to my alters when we get back?
I don't know. Yet. I don't need to tell you this is unprecedented. There are no good practices here, but I know one thing. You can trust me and Lucas completely. But if anyone else contacts you, it's absolutely vital you don't tell them anything about the existence of the alters.
What? Why?
You know very well why.
I thought Lucas said the branching was authorized.
You haven't been listening. There are no procedures for this sort of situation. There is no one who can officially authorize such an act. At the end of the day, it was your decision to branch yourself. It will be in your best interest to keep that in mind when considering the consequences.
I don't like the sound of this.
We will come back to it later, I'm sure. Right now, I'll have to leave you shortly. Is there anything else?
The branching procedure. There's a story there. Tell me.
It is something that has been tested long ago within Ally Corp. But for completely different reasons and, as you can imagine, in a much more rudimentary fashion.
Altering mind records? For whom?
I'm sorry, Jan. It's highly classified and I already told you too much. I think you deserve answers, but regarding this matter, like I said, things were tested just for a while. Not much came of it. Now, I'd love to keep on chatting, but I really will need to be ending this call soon. Do you have any more questions?
No. I'm good.
Rapidium Arc, Jan. That's what you should focus on right now. Your secret is safe with me and Lucas. Once you come back with a remedy for Earth's ailments, nobody will think of punishing you for how you got it. Remember, just do the right thing. Now, I really have to go, but it was a pleasure talking to you, and we will talk more, I promise. Until then.